Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of CWN Recap Impact Wrestling Genesis 2021, which took place last night on Fight as well as Impact Plus. I tried to do my best to stay awake. I did make it the whole show, but doing the podcast for the recap show for last night, it's like, nope, not happening. So here I am live on Twitch right now, and then I'll do a premiere on YouTube as well as Facebook in the next couple hours or so. So if you're watching on Twitch live, thank you very much, and feel free to comment. If you are watching the premiere on YouTube or Facebook, thank you very much as well. And again, like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz. But it was a pretty good show last night. It was about 3 hours in length from start to finish, almost bell to bell, so to speak. So Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne, the announcers for last night. No other matches took place other than the ones that I talked about on the prediction show there. But I'm going to go through, and I'm going to go through the matches themselves, as well as my thoughts, the recap, of course. But anyways, guys, the show opened backstage. Madison and Josh welcome us to the show. So Madison Rayne still doing commentary there for Impact. I'll have to wait and see next Saturday if she's still around there. Obviously, news broke that she's gone on to other ventures, but this stuff here, I mean, it might be, I don't know, it'll be hard to say too on Tuesday whether or not Madison Rayne's still around on commentary, but I think Hard to Kill, I think it's going to be the stage where they set up a new announcer, a new partner there for Josh Matthews. But match number one of the night, they get the Super X Cup kicked off immediately. So Inevitable is his new nickname, Ace Austin, with Madman Fulton taking on Suicide. So highlights of the match were Ace cut Suicide in between the fingers with his card there. Suicide's got the gloves on. He kind of just looks at his hand and he's like, okay, how did that make sense at all? And then ends up flipping off Ace Austin. So it was kind of a comedy spot there. And then in the end, Ace defeats Suicide by pinfall after hitting the fold. From there, we go to match number two of the night. KC Navarro and Blake Christian. Christian defeats Navarro by pinfall after a top rope twisting splash. Kind of cool move. It's interesting because the fact he's only 23 years old. So he's still, finding his ring chemistry, taking moves, tweaking these moves. But I don't think I've ever seen his twisting kind of moonsault splash up until about last night. So pretty cool. But like I said, he defeats Navarro for the win there. Navarro, I think, has got a huge future ahead of him. He's got that personality. He reminds me of a smaller version of The Rock, but also reminds me a lot of Ricky Starks. He's just got that it factor as far as that personality goes. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with KC Navarro. But like I said, Blake Christian moves on from there. Match number three of the night, Daivari versus Cousin Jake. Pretty good match there, but Jake wins by pinfall after a boss man slam. Not sure what Cousin Jake calls it, if he's got an official name for it, but to me, it's always going to be the boss man slam. That's the 80s, me growing up as a wrestling fan in the 80s. So match number four was Trey Lamar taking on Crazy Steve. Basically had a high flyer here versus a grounded style. High flyer in Lamar, grounded style obviously in Crazy Steve. Steve knows how to work the ropes, though, and in saying that, he basically gets the pinfall, second rope diving DDT. So Crazy Steve moves on there. So guys, right there, the first four matches, you've got Ace Austin taking on, where are we here? Ace and I think Cousin Jake. Yeah, Ace and Cousin Jake. So it's interesting the way they did the matches. They kind of did like A block, B block, A block, B block. So, but I'll go through it here. But anyways, like I said, Ace Austin to take on Cousin Jake in the next round. And then you've got Blake Christian taking on Crazy Steve in the next round. So backstage promo right now, we've got Moose with Gia Miller. Moose almost got like a blank stare on his face, acting really, really serious. And then basically, just hypes up his match in the main event coming up. So match number 5 of the night. They immediately after that promo go into the second round of the Super X Cup tournament there. So we've got Ace Austin with Fulton again. So Madman Fulton against Cousin Jake. Jake and Fulton stare downs during the match. So these guys are just absolute behemoths. I mean, it's interesting to see because there's not much size difference between the two. It's like like looking in the mirror, so to speak. So it'd be interesting. I don't know if they've ever fought before, but it'd be interesting to see a match between the two. especially with cousin Jake not being aligned with Cody Deaner anymore. But like I said, there was a stare down in the match quite a few times between the two of these guys. But Ace Austin prevails by pinfall, hits the fold again. So he moves on to the finals. Match number 6 of the night, we got Crazy Steve taking on Blake Christian. Steve hung up on the top rope. Blake with a 450 type splash. So basically, you picture the ropes, and Crazy Steve is basically hung up, on them, almost, his gut, so to speak. And anyways, when it comes down to it, it's comments coming in, but I'm not sure how real they are. But anyways, I'll leave it at that. But thanks for the comments there. Back to the card there itself, guys. Like I was saying, Crazy Steve was hung up on the ropes there, and then basically what had happened is Blake Christian comes off the top turnbuckle, hits a 450 splash while Crazy Steve's hung up on the ropes, and ends up getting the pin that way. So it was kind of cool to see. Very unique, like I said, moveset from Blake Christian's only 23 years old. So a lot, a big future ahead for this guy. But he moves on to the finals as well. So we got Blake Christian taking on the one and only Ace Austin in the finals there. Then we go backstage. Gia Miller, she's with Jazz. Jazz basically being the consummate professional, and Gia's basically like, if this is going to be your last match, so to speak. And, Jazz goes onto the ring. So match number 7 of the night. We got we got Jordan Grace taking on Jazz. Grace with a roll-up for the win after a hard-hitting battle. I mean, these two fought each other. It's just you had old-school Jazz mentality taking on new-school Jordan Grace, who just is a tough, very tough lady, so to speak. And anyways, just a hard-hitting battle, and then basically it was just a roll-up for the win after the hard-hitting battle there. So we got Jordan Grace for the win, and it looks like it might be the end of the road for Jazz in Impact Wrestling. So we'll have to wait and see there. From there, we go backstage with Gia Miller once again. She's got Blake Christian, and just doing a small interview there before the match. And then match number 8 comes up. So the main event for the Super X Cup is Blake Christian taking on Ace Austin with Madman Fulton. The interesting part about this was Fulton came out to the top of the ramp with Ace Austin and then ended up taking off. So there was going to be no interference. It was interesting too, because Ace Austin, the heel tactics, the personality he's got, it was really weird to see him come down to the ring alone. So it was sets up a good match. And I tell you this, I looked into it. Both guys are 23 years old. That's absolutely insane to know that, you've got two 23-year-olds going at it in the main event for the Super X Cup. And the coolest thing about that is, I mean, this is, like I think I said in the prediction show, these guys, the Rascals, those guys, I felt bad for Impact Wrestling losing those guys, but they need to hold on to these guys like a Blake Christian and an Ace Austin and lock these guys up and have them be their stars, and fighting for the world championships in the next 2 to 3 years, so to speak. But again, absolutely amazing to see the finals come down, like I said, to Blake Christian as well as Ace Austin. So highlights of the match: Fulton leaves at the ramp, like I had said. Final moments: Christian goes for the 450 rope attempt, but he ends up missing this time. Ace Austin with a crab submission. Christian to the ropes, though. Spanish fly by Blake. Both men are down inside the ring. Blake misses a twisting top rope splash, so both of his moves that he had ended up winning the previous 2 matches with, he missed both on Ace Austin. Then we go into continuous near falls. I think it was maybe a good minute and a half of the guys just trying to pin each other, but neither one could get the pin. And then Austin hits the full to win the tourney. When I say tournament, that's the East Coast coming out in me there. And then post-match, Madman Fulton comes to ringside. Scott D'Amore comes down, presents the trophy to Ace Austin, as you guys saw in the opening there, him posing with the trophy there. So the interesting part was, now we get to main event time, and it's nothing to do with Super X Cup. It's the I Quit match between Moose and Willie Mack. Before that, we go backstage, Josh and Madison prepping the main event there. But like I said, match number 9, the main event was Moose taking on Willie Mack. TNA Heavyweight Championship was not on the line, but it was an I Quit match. So highlights of the match: hard-hitting back and forth match. Moose sets up a table ringside. Mack blocks the powerbomb attempt, though. Mack inside the ring with the chair. Moose flips the double bird. Mack with another chair shot. Mack hits a corner chair shot followed by a 6-star frog splash. Then he ends up hitting another 6-star frog splash to the back of Moose. So he hits back-to-back frog splashes, but one traditional and then one to the back of Moose. Chair to the gut of Moose, 6-star frog splash attempt again, but Moose is back to his feet to block it. Moose go to hell to Mack from the top rope to the table on the outside. Ref with the gloves. Mack's now bleeding from the elbow. Both guys in the ring, blows. Moose is laughing though, so Moose is having a fine old time, just getting his butt handed to him and kicking the crap out of Willie Mack as it's going. Moose then hits 3 rock bottoms, but there's no quitting Willie Mack. Moose to the outside, tossing multiple chairs in the ring. Reminded me of Terry Funk back in ECW. Willie comeback, superplex into the chairs. Both men are down. Moose rolls outside. Mack attacks with a chair. Moose then, where am I here? Moose then grabs the TNA title, nails Mack with it. Back in the ring, Moose elbow shots to the head, chair around Mack's neck. Moose starts smack talking Willie Mack there. Rich Swann comes into the ring with the Impact World title in his hands, offers Moose an Impact title shot. Moose says, "Thank you," and I quit. Willie Mack wins the match. So apparently Moose's plan was to hurt Willie Mack enough to get Rich Swann's attention, and that's exactly what happened. And Rich Swann, as Moose had the chair around Willie Mack's neck, looking to break his neck, basically, Rich Swann come down and saved him. Says, "What do I have to do? What do I have to do?" So to speak. And Moose was basically like, it just give me a title shot, and that's exactly what happened. So that's the way it played out. So Moose has got a future world championship opportunity there. It'd be interesting to see if they're going to combine the titles. If you watch the prediction show, like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing a Moose Kenny Omega fight for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. But if he goes against Rich Swann, it'd be interesting to see whether or not they're going to go belt for belt, so to speak. So, and it'd be an easy way to retire the TNA Heavyweight Championship once and for all. But storyline wise, it'll be interesting. Obviously, nothing's happening. Hard to Kill coming up next weekend. But the fact is, it's going to be a good fight between him and Rich Swann. So the one thing I'll say right now before I go into my match of the night and wrestler of the night is that I am proud of myself. So 9 matches took place. The main event was kind of, it's got that asterisk beside it because otherwise I went perfect as far as my predictions go, which was kind of cool. Obviously I picked Jordan Grace. I picked Moose to win, but the way that he lost was still kind of asterisk in a win. And then all of the matches as far as the tournament goes, I broke it down on the prediction show, and I was absolutely 100% correct. It coming down to Blake Christian, Ace Austin, and Ace Austin winning. So I was proud of myself there. So, the 9 matches take place. I give myself an 8.5. So, but I'm eventually going to do a predictions thing for the website, cwnonline.ca. And guys, you'll be able to check that out to see how well I'm doing with my predictions. And then we might have to get Sean involved with that as well, just to see keeping score and everything else. But that was Impact Wrestling Genesis 2021. So as I do every single episode of the recap show, I always give my match of the night. So hard to argue with this. Ace Austin, Blake Christian, 2 23-year-olds, like I said, going at it in the ring for the Super X Cup. An amazing match, amazing performances from both of these guys, knowing that they wrestled 3 times in the show last night there. So Ace Austin, Blake Christian, my match of the night. Wrestler of the night, Ace Austin. Hard to argue with that. He had Madman Fulton with him 2 of the 3 matches. No, excuse me, but in the main event, in the end, it was just him defeating Blake Christian and just being the smarter of the 2 in the ring. So hats off, wrestler of the night, Ace Austin there, guys. So like I said, CWN Recap, Impact Wrestling Genesis 2021 is in the books. We've got another one coming up next Saturday. So Impact Wrestling, once again, that will be Hard to Kill 2021. So we'll be back for the prediction show next Saturday. That should be one I'm going to be hyped up enough for that I'll be able to do the recap show live after the show ends. If not, it'll be on the Sunday, but I'm pretty sure it's Kenny Omega in that main event there. I'll be hyped. So Look for the prediction show for Hard to Kill, as well as the recap show coming up for next weekend, next Saturday there. As always, you can check me out online at Chris Maloney CWN. That is Twitter, Instagram, as well as Reddit. Our next show coming up will be CWN Weekly, episode number 22, taking place live on Friday, 3 p.m., Facebook, Twitch, as well as YouTube. So check that out. And then, like I said, we'll have the prediction show as well as the recap show next Saturday. So, guys, that is it for another edition of CWN Recap. It was a good show. Check it out if you get a chance. Super X Cup was great. I hope they continuously do it year after year. But like I said, if you get a chance, check it out. So that is it. Chris Maloney signing off for CWN Recap. Check out the website, cwnonline.ca. And thank you very much for listening and watching, guys. And we'll see everybody on Friday, and enjoy your week.